Hi. I'm here. You're here. We're all here. We're here together. We're here together. We're here together. Hello, hello. How art thou? Whew. I'm going to let more people come into the room. Oh my God, I have an annoying Taylor Swift song in my head. And the painter's gonna hate, 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 hate. Hey. Welcome in. For those of you who are hashtag replay, please check the description box below and hopefully I have added the timestamp. Hopefully. Atawiti bird. Hello. I just had to put Indy 972. I'm so looking forward to this. LOL, please make it a long one. I'm still in disbelief with Lisa and Daniel. After this, I think the Nigerian government should deny visas to anyone named Lisa. I agree. I absolutely agree. Jasmine, hi. Hi. As read by Des. Hey. 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 Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Let me get over because I realized that for those of you who are watching on your mobile device, I'm not centered. Can I move this over a little bit without it falling? Hopefully. Oh my gosh, I miss you guys. I miss you guys. I was sick last week, like fatigue because of my new job hours. And then yesterday I was just like tired and I went to bed instead. Oh, it drained me. But I got to get it done today. So here I am. And I'm also going live in an hour and a half to talk about Love is Blind, the last episode of the season. And then we have next week, we have the reunion. Yeah, and then I'm gonna get some sleep, hopefully. Marshmallow, hello. What's happening? No visas for Lisa. What's happening, Jasmine? My distant vision is blurry, working through that. What happened? Yes, you're right on time, Marlene. Okay, I'm back out of cell phone gel. I love that for you. So no Lalu? That's not, you know what? I keep forgetting that Lalu is on and I need to go find it and watch it. I think I'm too far gone because I like have to arg it, you know what I mean? Like I don't have WeTV and I don't think I have a way of watching it. I was getting it from the folks from WeTV, but then they didn't send it to me this time and I just didn't like ask them for it. I'm just feels like begging. But I think I have to go back and do it. Dominique, yes you did, girl. Or I don't know if you're a girl. I had a boss whose name was spelled exactly like yours and he's a he. So should not say that. No, not no Lalu. Okay. Let me put this on mute. Girl, Lalu is willing. What does that mean? I have to take a bite of something to eat and then I'll be looking though. So talk to me. You know what? Yes. To me, I'm not gonna say anything about this man, but like I would expect the name Dominic to be male, but his name was Dominique. I was like, oh. Anyways, I called him Dom. Oh, Wylan. I understand. Wylan. Got it. So those were some, let me just tell you the expressions that were on my face. Those are chicken sriracha egg rolls from Costco. It's a new product. Two Costco employees, when I picked it up, was like, "Ooh, what's this?" And they're like, "I gotta try that." And I tasted it, and the egg roll itself doesn't have a lot of flavor. So then you use the dip, but like the dip is like a sweet and sour, and it's like not right. I gotta make my own dip. The egg roll itself is not seasoned well enough. There is a little bit of a like heat, and maybe to the Midwestern tongue, it would like really do something to them. Like I feel it in the back of my tongue, the heat, not the tip. So it means to me, it's not that hot. Anyways, let's get started. We had 2 episodes to cover and a lot of shenanigans. Let's start at 7. The 7-minute mark. Is probably passing me by as we speak. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of a 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, episode 11 and 12. My name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Love is Blind. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you get the Hehe-Haha while watching this, you want to give your girl a tip, you could do so with the options of scrolling at the bottom of your screen, also in the description box. Okay, you guys, let's jump right into it. For those of you who are wondering where my melanated thing is, I had to downgrade my StreamYard service because it was too much too much money. And I guess the free thingy does not allow you to put pictures, and that's not the way it used to be. But then again, that was like 6 years ago. So that's the last time I had a free account. But anyways, wow. I got to reconsider because I got to post picture. I got to at least be able to be like, melanated. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's rude. That was real rude, StreamYard. Changing your rules on me? I'm barely grateful you let me live stream this. Okay. So I was sick last week for episode 11, but the truth is episode 11 was such a filler episode and was so boring. Nothing happened. The only thing that happened that was mildly interesting is that we got introduced to Elise. I can't show you a picture of her because StreamYard is tacky now. But anyways, so let's actually just start with her because that was the new thing that happened. So we meet Elise. It's episode 11, which means that the season must be 22 weeks. We must have another 11 weeks to go. Okay. And we see Elise and we're like, wow, who knew a human body could lose even more weight? Excuse me. She's even skinnier and puffed up in the face, like stonier in the face, like the cheekbones are rigid, the lips are pillowy. Thank you so much, Hard to Know, for the super sticker. Girl, she's lost even more weight. She was already thin. I remember her whole thing in 90 Day Fiance, like not last resort. What was she? Like Island, 90 Day Fiance, the Island. She was like, oh, I have a big butt. I have such a big butt for a white girl. And I'm like, you've lost even more weight, sister. Wow. Watching people change the way that they look to meet an unrealistic beauty standard and or a beauty standard that what do I want to say this? That a beauty standard that requires like not medical procedures, but like, you know what I mean? Like that requires, like, it's one thing if we're all buying like the same cream and we're all like putting caviar on our face in order to have smooth skin and like whatever. But the people are like putting needles in their face and like going under their knife and like injecting things and doing whatever to get a very specific look. And there is just like a list of doctors, a host of plastic surgeons and other folk who can look at your face and tell you, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. And so like everyone kind of, they don't look the same, but they're all doing the same thing. They're all getting filler in their cheeks to have higher cheekbones. Like they're doing the Cardi B thing where they're like the Cardi B and the Darcy Stacy thing where they like pull this up to have more of a slanted eye look. It's like we're all trying to be multicultural. It's like we're all trying to look like I don't know, like maybe native in the eye area and like lip wise like black and like cheekbone native like maybe everyone's just trying to look native. Like it's just so interesting that I'm just watching people do this and I am just like, huh, what if I were somebody who was like, yeah, that's what I need? And the amount of time and energy I would invest in making sure that that happens. And maybe I will be one day, who knows? But like, oh yes, Hunt for Love. Like it's just so interesting to me that we are watching people actively do this. And in like when we're in our 80s, there's gonna be a new thing. And we're gonna see the young girls doing the same thing. And we're gonna be like, huh, remember when everyone used to get their lips pumped up? It's all just so social and very interesting. But anyway, she's lost even more weight. I mean, it's like watching that one crazy like Middle Eastern lady. Thank you so much, Jasmine. It's like watching that one crazy Middle Eastern lady who's with that white man, and they went to Mexico to get the dancer who worked in TJ named Annie, and they tried to get her to quit her dancing job. It's like her. It's like she was skinny, and then she comes back, and we see that she's even more skinny, and she's got more things done to her face. That's what Elise did to us. And then we were like, oh, we see her mom and we see the blueprint and we're like, oh, okay. They're like, I don't know. She lives in Miami. I don't remember where her parents live, but they're like whatever Jewish family. And she's like, my parents have the ship has sailed on my parents thinking that I'm going to marry somebody Jewish. And, we find out a little backstory that she ended up getting in a relationship with somebody who stole her identity and ended up racking up $500,000 USD. And her dad had to bail her out. And then she talks about like her parents' love story and how they met. They dated for 5 years and they got married, and she's looking for that forever love and she wants to have kids. And I was like, you want to have kids? Huh. And then she tells us about Josh, who's this Australian man who lives with his parents and is basically a man child, and he's going through it financially right now, but he makes her feel so good and special about herself. Hi, Angela. And just like she can roam around at 37, even though she tells she's 32. She can roam around at that age doing whatever she wants because she's being taken care of by her family. Because I think she says she has brothers and they're self-sufficient and they're married and they have kids and whatever. And she's just like bopping around the thinnest woman on the planet, like, besides Eugenia Cooley or whatever her name is. And just, I'm 100% sure that Elise, this, Hunt for Love wasn't the first reality show she'd ever tried to be on or that she was ever even on. So like, just like, what is her life? It's just like such an unserious life. What does she do for work? Who knows? Okay. But anyways, so she says that she's been proposed to 5 times and she's accepted and said yes 3 times. But they've never gotten to marriage. And I'm like, girl, it's because you're a good time gal. Like, I know you want to be booed down and hunkered down, but you are picking people who only want you for the physical. So, like, you got to, like, let go of being a good time gal and, like, be a little bit more serious. And so then we meet her cat. And I'm so, like, listen, I was in Costco today and I was like, oh, Gato needs the best. I don't have the best money, but I'm like, Gato needs the best. And I was like, but Gato got the best for the first year of his life. Now he's going to get regular cat stuff. Okay. I'm going to stop listening to the TikTok gurus telling me that I need to give him bone broth and, add texture to his food and make sure he has crunchies, whatever. But I'm in Costco like, I still want to get this cat something nice. Like I don't want him to hug me or put his hair all over me or like, I can't hold him for extended periods of time. I'll pet him for a little bit. But I still want to get him the best stuff. And then you have Elise, who is just allowing this cat to sit on her dining room table and just paw all over her, hair all over her shirt. And she's just like trying to give this cat some treats and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be as into my cat as other people are. I'm into making sure that he's healthy and he has the things that he needs. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, stop trying to hug me. And he's so like, why don't you want to hug me? So I get my neighbor to hug him, because I'm like, it's the hair all over the place. But I did get a like hair, like a house ventilator or like, I can't think of the word. But anyway, it's supposed to suck up the cat hair. So maybe that'll make my life easier. Okay, anyways. And so she thinks that Josh is sexy and hot and adventurous, and she's going to go meet him. But first, she's going to go meet with her friends and tell her friends what she's doing. Now, I did take a picture of those friends. I took a picture of the black girl because I felt that the black girl wasn't living in her Miami power. Okay? You could look like Carisha if you're from Miami-Dade County. Or you can look like Elise's friend, which leads me to believe that Elise's friend is not from Miami. She's from somewhere else. And she hasn't gone into the black community. And she hasn't been in community with black women. Because she could be doing a lot better. She could be doing air purifier, yes. She could be doing a lot better. I said, you know what? I said, there are options and you are not taking full advantage of them. Who's doing your wig? Okay. I don't know who does Carisha wigs, but I seen a lot of Miami girls, black girls, and the wigs be laid and her wig laid. You know what I mean? It just laid. But anyways, I'm very specifically qualified to talk about black women and the choices that they make. Now, all of her friends are like, we are really concerned about this loser that our friend is about to be in, but she can afford it. So like, why not? She's like, I don't really know what my dad does. Like, he just like, he like buys companies and then sells them. And then he takes the money and I was like, are you describing Richard Gere in Pretty Woman? Like, what are you trying to say to us? I buy companies and I break them off into smaller companies and sell those companies off. And the first company I bought was my dad's company. And I'm angry at him. It took me a lot of money and a lot of years of therapy to say that I am angry at my father. Oh God, that's a deep cut for Pretty Woman. That's a deep cut. But anyways, back to the black friend. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyways, yeah, there's something like, I just like, you're giving that you grew up around not black women, or at least not American black women. And because she was giving like West African, maybe, but she didn't grow up around American black women who've gotten the wig game down to a pat. or her Nigerian cousins who would have the game down, the game down to a pat. You know what I mean? Sure did. Hard to know. Sure did. I am angry at him. Okay. So, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. So she's like, Josh lives with his parents, and he, so that I don't have to stay with his parents, he's going to get a rental with his friend because he can't afford to get a rental by himself while I'm there for 3 weeks. And so it's going to be awkward, but I'm going to be staying with him and his friend in this rental. And he just doesn't have any money, but he loves me. And he makes me just so happy. And I'm so excited to go to Australia to visit my new boyfriend, Josh. And we're like, okay, girl, do what you got to do. All right, next we're going to talk about Laura, aka Bridget Jones, and Beercon. So he found her a heater. He found a heater. So he's really proud of himself. And she wants to get on the phone. And so she's like, can you give me some privacy? And he's like, sure, I'm gonna go smoke shisha. And it's fun for him. So I'm like, go smoke a shisha. And so she gets on the veranda and she turns her phone sideways. And I was like, I've never seen somebody do this, but I guess, it's working for production. And she calls Michael with the biggest smile on her face. And I don't know if has the biggest smile on her face is because Michael is the first person she's spoken to, or she's just like misses him because she hasn't talked to him in a very long time, but like very big smile on her face. And I'm just like, is she dating Beercon to just get Michael to make a choice? Is that what's happening? Or is she just like, listen, I'm the skinniest I've ever been. I'm going to have my cake and eat it too. So I'm going to enjoy this man and I'm going to enjoy this man and they're going to enjoy me in whatever way I show up. And I said, yes. Yes, Bridget Joneses. You know what I mean? Laura got her groove back and I'm here for it. Bridget Jones, Laura got her groove back. And that is the tea. So she is talking to him and he's like, listen, this all is red flags. He's a gambler. He don't have no money. Let me just come out there. And she's like, well, let me talk to him first to make sure it's okay if you come out here because he really doesn't want to talk to you. And he's like, no, I need to make sure that the person that I am letting you go for is going to be worth your time. Otherwise, I'm going to demand that you not be with this person and that you just wait for me to get over the fact that I have a cleft palate or whatever is going on and that I just get over it. And I finally give you the love that I want to give you. And so Laura is she's unsure. She's unsure. Okay. So that's where we leave off. So then the next couple we're going to talk about is Forrest and Sheena. And Forrest and Sheena, they're eating sour cotton fruit. Now, I didn't know there was such thing as cotton fruit, and I want to know what it tastes like. Because I'm like, what's a sour fruit taste like to me? I'm like, sour fruit is like a plum. It can be sour. What's that little like kumquat? A kumquat can be sour. A lemon is sour. So I wonder what sour cotton fruit tastes like. So they go to this place called Little Italy, and they have a very interesting. They have like a very interesting version of Italy. Like for whatever reason, when I think of Italy, I think of cobblestones. I think of people outside in small cafes sipping on espresso and wine, and I think of tight like spaces, like tight, like cobblestone alleys, streets, and things like that, like small spaces. But then I also think of Rome. So I also think there might be some ruins. You know what I mean? I don't know why. But the Italy that the Philippines has chosen to represent is like a gondola, like Commedia dell'arte version of Rome. It's like the Two Gentlemen of Verona type Italy, like a very whimsical. This is where a version of theater resides, and there's like it's like Venice. It's very Venice. They're very that, and I was just like, listen, I'm into this because I would never think that. Not to say that I, have a vast thought pattern about what it is in Italy, but like that's interesting that that's that version of it. And it was like mimes or something, like people with masks or people on with makeup and in costumes. And he's like, she loves Italian food. And I want to know what Filipino framed Italian food tastes like. Because American framed Italian food, even the authentic kind, is got to be different than the actual authentic Italian food. British Italian food. Italian food through a British lens taste. What is the Filipino Italian food lens taste like? What do them macaroni macaroni? What does their spaghetti and meatballs taste like? What's their bolognese like? Huh? Questions. And also seeing Manila, or I think they're in Manila, through Sheena's eyes is A, different than I think I have ever seen it on 90 Day Fiance, and B, she makes me want to go there. Between Chinatown and the like Spanish area and this Italian area, it just really feels like the Philippines has a lot to offer. Like as far as like sightseeing and different things like going on. Not that I didn't think it had that before, but for whatever reason, when I think of the Philippines, I'm like, ooh, beaches. I was like, I'm gonna be on the coast. I'm not gonna be I'm gonna be on the coast and it's hot. So, anyways, very, very excited to see that part of it. It was fun. So they talk about the lies, and Sheena cries, and she tells Forrest that the reason why she tells the lies is because in her last relationship 7 years ago, that she is scarred because that person, made her feel like if she didn't kind of do the things that, or she didn't do the expected things, that they would break up with her. And so she lies in order to keep Forrest around. She wants him to, you know, she wants to appease him in order to keep him around and not have him not like her. And so sometimes that includes her lying and saying things that she thinks he wants to hear or needs to hear in order to stay with her. And so he forgives her, says he understands her, and then he proposes to her in her favorite place, Filipino in Italy, and she says yes. And it's cute. They're grown people, regardless of whatever's going on, with their social skills. They are two grown ass people. Um, and then we move on to Stig. So Stig and Aviva, we're still on this whole Stig might be cheating. This plot and storyline is just like really dragged out. So I'm not even gonna talk about them. We'll talk about them next episode because basically there's a pic of him kissing somebody. He says it's a fan. Of Aunt Spring's friend says that it's not a fan, and it's just like, who cares? I do not care. Okay, so then we've got Lisa and Daniel, and we pull up on Daniel in some kind of elf Santa Claus, like not a traditional elf hat, but like a like alternative like a spin on the elf hat that Santa would wear to sleep. It's like one of those hats that you put on and it's got a long, like it's like what like a rich person in maybe like the 1800s Britain would wear to sleep, like a man. He's got on like a sleep dress, and then he's got on like a nightcap that has like a long thing with like maybe a ball on the end. It's like what Scrooge would wear to sleep. You know what I mean? But it's black, white, and red. So it's like what Scrooge would wear to sleep. But Christmas. And not like ho 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 full Christmas, but like December 5th. You know what I mean? Like not December 25th, not like December 18th to the 25th, like December 3rd, 4th, 5th. Okay? That's what he's wearing. And then he's like, it's my culture. And then I said, oh, I'm a jerk. I said, this is your culture? Okay. So he says to Lisa, he's like, hey girl, so you were trying to talk to my ex or some girl that I was supposedly talking to, whatever happened to her. And Lisa's like, she blocked me. She blocked me, so I think she's jealous. She's jealous of me. That's why she blocked me. And I said, no, what happened is you reached out to her and she gave you information, and then you gave that information to producers. And then producers contacted her. And then she said, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to be on a TV show. And so she blocked you. It has nothing to do with her being jealous of you. And she's like, well, that's what I think. Because she blocked me, she must be jealous. And I'm just like, you know what? That's an old wives' tale. That's something that like my mother told me, and copious amounts of mother told a lot of girls growing up. Oh, the reason why they make fun of you is because they're jealous. Like maybe that's the case in maybe 20%. But the other 80%, these hoes is just mean, or they don't care, and they don't want to talk to you anymore. It has nothing to do with jealous. She's not jealous of you, my girl. You are the one who spent all your money in Nigeria, and she tried to warn you. So if you think that she's jealous of you, you are out of your mind. Anyways, so this is the day in which not only, like, let me tell you that Daniel is running Lisa through every hoop that's possible. Now, I don't know if it's the difference between the fact that he is Igbo and maybe Michael was Yoruba, or I don't know what a Soldier Boy was. Was he Yoruba? I don't know what he's from, the Muslim part of it. So I don't know what the tribes are up there. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if Christianity hit them. I don't know. Okay, I don't know how their religions divvied up the tribes of Nigeria. However, I know there's more than just two, Yoruba and Igbo. But like the way that this man is letting this woman jump through every single hoop, the now next step, hi Dedria, the now next step is for her to meet the king. And I said to myself, who? The king of what? The king of what? Because the way that Lisa, is that her name? Lisa? The way that Lisa is so like, we're going to meet the king, and so I'm nervous because I don't know what the king is going to ask, and I got to get the king's blessing in order to marry Daniel. So he says, you have to meet the king. This is very important for my culture. I am an Igbo man, Christian Igbo man. And my mother said to me, you must marry a white woman, but you must get blessing from everyone before you do so. So they get into a cab, which I'm pretty sure she's paying for. And she's like, oh my God, we're meeting the king. And she's meeting the king in what feels like the same outfit that she met the uncle in, which feels like a jinx. And she's like, what do I expect? And he's like, no, it's fine. Just come. Like, Daniel will not help her at all navigate his culture. He's just going to tell her to come as she is. Come as you are. Ah, la, la. Also, my copyright strike finally got approved. They were like, oh, yeah, you don't owe us any money. You know how long I took? Anyways, so they get in the car and she's like, we're going to meet the king. We're going to meet the king. And we're driving and I'm like, where are we? And then we pull up to this house and I'm like, the king lives here. And she gets out and she goes in and the king is sitting on his throne. And I had a picture of it, but y'all saw it. I said, what in the Zamunda is this? Is this Nollywood? Is this a Nollywood coming to America? This is not even coming to America. Coming to America did like made the royalty of Africa look so prestigious and astute. This man looks like he's not the king. He looks like the chief one. And he's sitting there on some throne in his regular ass house with some woman next to him and some man. Are they his servants? And so she comes in and they have the polite introductions and the king is talking to her and she giggles and he's like, why are you laughing? Is there something to laugh about? Am I funny? Huh? And she's like, no, I get when I laugh, when I get nervous. It's nervous laughter. He's like, am I funny? Am I funny? And she's like, no, you're not funny, King. And so she's over there looking like, I said, are they duping the cameras? What is happening? Because listen, Matilda and Niles took us to an elder with one hand. Okay? Soldier Boy took us to his mother. Michael took us to his mother. Daniel has taken this. I mean, the first thing is him walking on layers and layers of trash in order to get to the shaman to see if he should be with Lisa. Talking about he's Christian, having this man shake bones. Then he proposes to her at the airport with a full band and his uncle. Then he has her go to the uncle, and the uncle's like, why are you gay? And she's like, what? And then, no, before that, he has her be insulted in the marketplace because she's fat. Then he's like, I don't know how to put on women's clothing. You're going to have to be, then, I mean, it is so much. You want some palm wine? Are you drunk? He has done so much to her. And the final coup d'etat is her sitting in this man's regular ass house as he sits on a throne with some kind of animal fur. And then he too throws bones. He too. And she's like, on bated breath, I gotta get the blessing of the king for Daniel. And I'm like, how much did you pay that king? How much did production pay that king? Who is paying that king? Because that man does not dress in that regalia, get his 2 children to be on the side of him, throw bones for free. He doesn't. He doesn't. That did not happen. This was a crazy episode. This was crazy. Okay? That's all I gotta say. Now, let's move on to episode 12. That was crazy. It was crazy. Okay, now let's do Aviva and Stig. So I already told you what happened with them, right? There's a girl. So now the next episode is that we have this fake scene where Aviva's gonna go off with her Aunt Spring, and Stig is like, you're gonna leave me here by myself in this hotel room in my own country? You're leaving? And she's like, yeah, I'm leaving. He's like, what am I gonna do all by myself in this hotel room in my own country? What am I do? Huh? And she says, I don't know, but I gotta go hang out with my Aunt Spring. So she goes and hangs out with her aunt. And while she's there, she meets the same girl again. She gets a stiff mojito. Then they end up, she's like, I want to talk to the friend. Since the friend thinks that he's dating my man, she's dating my man. And the girl's like, boop, 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 boop. And she's like, oh my God, you're calling right now? Oh my God, you're calling right now? And I was like, girl, Aviva, if that's your real name, if you gonna say it, be about it. Stand on business. Stand on business. Okay? So, so they call the girl, and the girl does not wish to be on camera or doesn't want to talk to producers, doesn't want her voice to be heard. And so now we either have a real and or fake conversation with this person where she's like, Stig dem ya man? How long since you seen Stig? How long? And so then the girl's like, I just saw him last month. And she's like, she just saw him last month. I mean, the way that she jumps into Creole and then comes back out of it is hilarious. And then the Aviva's like, well, he didn't tell her about me. Did you know about this little white gal? And the girl's like, no, nah, me no know. And she's like, no, they don't know about you. And so for some reason I said, what does it matter if the girl knew about you? And she's like, well, I'm gonna ask Stig because we got serious about a month ago, so I need to talk to him. Meanwhile, Stig's at home, in wherever they are, and his father comes, and his father is like, pa, what does he say? I wrote it down. I said, I wrote it. He said, pa, Auntie Spring, she pull up swinging. She pull up swinging. I was dead. He's reiterating this story, and I said, the way that Stig is telling the story to his dad is such a Belizean way to do it. And I'm like, this is where I get it from. Because a lot of people tell me that I'm really good at telling a story, but my dad is really good at telling stories too. I mean, she pull up on him, man, and she swing. Like, yeah. I said, that's my people. I said, that's my people. The way this boy to tell a story. So funny. It's so funny. I love seeing my culture in the wild. And so his dad's like, uh-huh. So when Aunt Spring gets there and Aviva, they get there to meet the dad. And they're at some beach bar. And the aunt's like, let's get a panty ripper. And I said, you mean a panty ripper? I've had a plenty of panty ripper. And it's such a ridiculous name for a fucking drink. It's so violent. And let me look. It's rum. It's rum and juice. Let me see what's in it if I can find it. Me and my cousin loved it. It's rum, coconut rum, pineapple juice, and grenadine. Yeah. But it's coconut rum specifically. It's a 3-ingredient Belizean beach cocktail, typically made with 1.5 ounces of coconut rum, like Malibu, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, and the grenadine. I said, that's a panty ripper. Anyways, so they order that. I mean, Spring was like, get a panty ripper. And so, anyways, they get the panty ripper. And they're drinking, and Aviva's really bad at being on TV. She's bad at it. She's not good. Aunt Spring was like, here, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna make it better. And she's like, your son is cheating on my niece. And the dad's like, listen, I don't believe Stig because he likes a lot of drama. Okay, he's always messing with this one, messing with that one, doing this. And I want to know how many children Stig have. Ain't no way Stig don't have no kids. Ain't no way. Ain't no way for me to love you. Sorry. If you won't let me. Ain't no way that man don't have no kids. The way he been run up and down, it's crazy. So anyways, the dad's like, I call BS, he's a liar, and this is too much going on. And then we find out that Stig is like, listen, we just got serious. And while we were serious, was I still talking to girls? Yes. Yeah, I did. She doesn't know that, but I was still talking to girls, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm like, you don't have to tell us anything. Excuse me. If you're not official with somebody in another country, you're allowed to do what you want to do. If we're not having a conversation where I'm like, you tell me that you don't want me to be with anybody else and that you're my boyfriend, then you need to say that explicitly to me. Because otherwise, in the streets, this one, in the streets, she outside. Okay? So, anyways, that's the end of them. So now let's get back to Elise. So Elise's plant is packing for her trip to Australia, and she's counting her designer bags. You know, she needs to know how many bags she has. She has 6 or 8. One of them is a Christian Dior, and she's like pulling out all the like basic ones, not quintessential, not like, oh, here's the classic Celine like shape, whatever. She's pulling out like the Christian Dior like travel Canva like bag, and then she's pulling out like another one, and I was like, girl, She had her like never full or ever full, whatever Louis Vuitton, whatever nonsense. I was like, oh my God, can the nouveau riche just like be a little bit less obvious? Can we just like have a quiet luxury type situation? So then she has a basket of bikinis and she pulls out the different bikinis and she talks about how one is granny and one is like, yeah, we're getting it on. And they're all so small. And I'm just like, wow. Wow, you just have such a small lower extremity. That one of those panties would just like they're thongs on her, but they would be like, I don't even know what, a G-string on me. They would just, my behind would just eat that all up. So she's like, I've gone 6 months without sex. And that's the longest I've ever gone without sex since I was in high school. I'm like a born again virgin. And I was like, you know what? Good for these women who can be out here just like slanging and dangling. I am too scared. I am too scared of an STD. I'm too scared. Well, good for you. Too scared of that skin on skin. And so she talks about how she's again nervous about going to see Josh because he's a yacht broker. And he took out one of the yachts from his company for a joyride and crashed it. And that he's got a final written warning from his job. And so like he might lose his job. And I said, oh, you have a man child. And he's going to tell us that he's 39 years old. These two are both lying about their age. These two are both liar, pants on fires. Their pants is on fires, these two. And so I was just like, if he's 39 years old, that man has had a life. He would need to tell me that he spent 6 months in the outback. 6 months in the outback for 8 years straight. Just like roughing it in the outback. Had anybody read the book Mutant Message from Down Under? Anyways, side note, I have twice. Just roughing it in the outback. Also, speaking of the outback, I hate that when they like pan to Australia, they always play the didgeridoo. And the didgeridoo is a native Australian, it's a native Australian instrument. It's an Aboriginal instrument. That would be like every time they pan to the US, they like play a powwow song or like a powwow music. Can we stop like equating didgeridoo and indigenous Aboriginal culture to like the white criminals who landed on Australia? Like, can we stop that? What does Australian white music sound like? Let's play that. Shrimp on the bobby. Like, play that. Whatever that is. Have some Crocodile Dundee like doing shrimp on the bobby. Do whatever. Get Toni Collette to sing a song. Okay? Hugh Jackman, where's he at? Nicole Kidman. Get them to create something. I am so sick of it. It's so weird and rude considering all that they did to the Aboriginals by stealing their children and putting them into fucking schools and taking them away from their families if they were light enough. Like, it's too much. It's too much. If you ever hear wong 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 with a didgeridoo sound and then they don't show an Aboriginal person, just know it's cultural appropriation. Just stop it. 90 Day Fiance, stop it. Okay. Anyways, so he says that she's a great listener, which is why he loves her. I said, well, yeah, if you're talking to somebody on the phone, should they not be a great listener? That's dumb. And so him and his friend are like having a good time, and his friend's like, "Oi, dickhead!" And he gets called into the apartment that he's rented with his friend, and his friend and him, it's like Melbourne Day, where they like, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is it like the Kentucky Derby, where everyone dresses up, puts a hat on, a fascinator, and like goes out and turns divots over and has beverages while they watch horses run around. Except for it's like, I guess, a game of some sort. And so they get dressed up and he's like, well, afterwards we're going to go to the bar. And the friend's like, but she's getting off of a 25-hour flight. And he's like, yeah, she's down for whatever. So they get all dressed up and get in his small ass Mercedes and go to the airport to pick her up. And he doesn't tell her that he's coming with his friend. She finds out because she starts to scroll on social media and sees that he's dressed up and that he's on his way to her. And so she knows that his friend is there, but she's trying to be cool. She's trying to play it cool as like the cool girlfriend. She gets off the plane and she's like, oh my God, I look terrible. I was like, no, actually your face is frozen in time and you look fine. You look the same way. She gets off the plane. She gives him a big hug. She's got 5 suitcases. And she's like, I'm not dressed up to go. And they're like, well, you got something in these bags. And so she's game. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now that as much as I understand that she's probably doing the most to try to prove to him that she's a cool girl, I love the fact that she's like, fuck it, let's do it. I love that. Just for the plot. If that were me and I readily could just pull something out of a bag and put it on, I would go too. Now, when I'm crashing and when I'm telling you that I'm ready to go, we gotta go. Or I'm like, hey, I'm crashing. I'm gonna go. Don't try to stop me. Because if you try to stop me, I'm gonna hate you for the rest of this trip. But I would go. Just to be like, whatever, I'm up. I gotta figure out this jet lag situation. I'm up. Let's go. So I love that for her, for the plot. I love the fact that she wasn't immediately upset, because a lot of times what they do in order to make the plot move forward or to like have something interesting happen is they have the person be upset immediately. So their first like meeting is like them annoyed or like whatever. And it's just like, I don't want to see that first. Let's have a series of things happen before we get that person to be annoyed. But he is a man child. The fact that he showed up with a friend, didn't even tell her, didn't even need to show up with the friend, could have shown up by himself, especially with all the bags. I honestly feel like the friend must have taken a cab anyway, because she had so many bags and those bags were not going to fit in that Mercedes. So like they figured it out somehow. So he's like, don't worry, when the tequila hits, you'll be fine. So she's like, listen, I'm a good sport, and I hope that he sees that I'm being this way. And I'm like, girl, you shouldn't have to do that in order to prove anything to him. He don't got anything. Now we end up finding out that this man does not live with his mother. He doesn't live with his parents. He actually lives with a female friend named Nat. And they're anticipating Nat and Elise having some issues. He lied to Elise about who he's living with, and he's been living with Nat for the last 3 months, which sounds like rent-free, because he's like, she's a great friend. I've been living with her for now 3 months. It's so interesting to me the way these people will tell the truth to producers and not tell the truth to their spouses. So interesting. What an interesting choice when you're on TV. So now we have Icky, Ricky, and Trisha. Bottom line is that Trisha forgives him. And she says that she is invested in this love and that she, is, like, doesn't know that she can trust him from here on out, but is slowly wanting to regain, I don't know, something. And I feel like the reason why she's saying yes to him is, 1, because producers convinced her, and 2, because she's already told her family that he was coming and all these things were happening. And so she's like, I got to see it through, my boy. Like, that's what I feel is going on. There is just no reason at all for her to forgive Rick. And he's like, baby, I'll never do it again, baby. I'll never do it again, baby. I promise so much I'll never do it again. You can trust me. You can trust me. I'll never do it again, babes. I'll never cheat on you. And he's looking at her like with his little beady eyes. And he's like, never do it again, babe. I'll never do it again. You can trust me. You can trust me. And the rest of his like confessionals are really like sad and like, I gotta show her that I love her so much. And the thing is, though, I'm nervous about meeting her family, because it's like he's giving like a little Mike Tyson in that. Like, I'm really nervous about meeting her family because, her family wants her to marry somebody who's ready for marriage and wants kids, and like that's not me, but I do love her. And I'm just like, what is that like, to think that you could possibly be in love with somebody who is the same age as one of your children? Like, what is that like, to like think that as a 52-year-old man that it is mildly appropriate for you to be in love with a 25-year-old? A 25-year-old that you gaslit for the first like 5 days of you being in the same country. Like, it's like sometimes when it's like Elise too. It's like they just say things and do things, and you're just like, that's what you think love is? That's what you think is the type of love that's gonna last you the rest of your life? Rick needs to really concern himself about getting with somebody who's gonna take him into old age. He's already like on the precipice, looking down into the bottomless pit. And this man is gonna want to rob this 25-year-old of her life because right now he feels okay, but he knows he doesn't want to have kids and he wants to just snatch her soul from her. Instead of just letting her be with somebody of her same age group, maybe same culture, he just wants to like lord over this passport bro bullshit. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Huh. Anyways, so then we move on to Forrest and Sheena. Forrest and Sheena come and tell Molly and Dev that they're getting married, and Molly acts like, I mean, she is so dramatic. Molly wants to know, what they talked about when they were out together this whole time. She's like, I worry about you and I worry about Sheena when Forrest is trying to stick up for Sheena and keep things private. Molly's like, oh, you're more foolish than a Christmas goose. I said, did you just make that up? Because a Christmas goose is a very British thing to say. And like, why are they full of ish? That's like being like, oh, that's like a British person being like, you know what? You're so full of shite, like a Thanksgiving turkey. Like, what? Can we just stay in our own cultures? Can we just stay in our own cultures for the insult? And then she's like, Forrest is like just really disappointed in his mother for the behavior. Forrest is like, listen, girl, you can get on this, or you can get out of our way. And she's like, how dare you give me an ultimatum? I've done everything for you. So you're just a big man. You're just a big grown up that can make all the decisions on his own, huh? And he's like, yeah, yes. She manipulated you, which is such a quintessential like mother of a son to say. She manipulated you, and I just feel like I've lost my son because now you can't tell him what to do because he's chosen Sheena. How do you know she's not? We need more time to discern whether or not we can trust her. Girl, if you don't get out of these people's relationship. And then he's like, you'll be in my life moving forward. And she's like, oh, will I? Will I be in your life, Forrest? Will I? I almost named you Tom Hanks because I like that actor so much, but instead I named you Forrest. Like, girl, chill. It's a lot. Molly is a lot. She's like, I know that because of your autism. The way she's talking to him, like he doesn't have any autism, and that he's not like whatever. But then she's like, I'm the only person who can sneer and talk to you like this. Me. Because I'm your mother. I just wanted her to be like, Forrest, you know that I was in labor with you for 16 hours. I wanted her to say that so that we can just tie it up at a bow. So no Cornelius Bollywog in this episode. All right, let's move on to Lisa and Daniel. Come on, Nollywood. I mean, Daniel deserves whatever the Nigerian equivalent of a BAFTA and an Oscar is. He is so dramatic. You're right. I just can't get you off of my head. Boy, your loving is all I think about. Yeah, they should do that. Okay. God, Kylie Minogue has such a long discography. She has like songs from the 80s, like teeny bopper songs from the 80s. And then she's got the new Tension song. I'm your girl, cool like all. I love that song. It's the way I make it feel. Can I do this forever? It's called Tension, you guys should listen to it. It's great. She's like a very consistent pop star. Okay, so Lisa has explosive diarrhea in the night to the point where she needs to wake up Daniel because it has gotten on him. And she has to wake up and change the sheets. The way that you cannot pay me to ever tell anyone that story. He's like, don't worry. I said, do you want to get to the US that bad? He's like, it's just all the Nigerian food you've been eating. She's like, it's so embarrassing. I was like, it's beyond embarrassing. It's beyond embarrassing. He's like, she pooped on me. And I said, mm-mm. That's a story that needs to just stay between two loving people. Two people who love each other. So, her stuff stained my clothes, is what he said. Only a baby can poop on me. A baby or like my aging father. Because he changed my poop. Everybody else needs a nurse. Everybody else requires nurse participation because I can't do it. So she's like, are you going to call them so they can give us more sheets? And he's like, I'll take care of it. So she's like, okay. So he set up a cooking class for her because he really needs her to be an Igbo woman to learn how to cook him some food. And I said this sentiment is really sweet because the truth is like, we haven't seen this on a show before. And I thought that besides obviously what's her face and oh yeah, Ziad and Emma broke up. He left her on the beach on the desert. Okay. I don't know if we said that already, but that happened. And so I just think to myself, you couldn't get out of the bed. I've never had that kind of diarrhea. I've never lost control of my bowels, and I hope I never do. I hope I never do. Not until I'm too old to give a F about it, or I am heavily medicated because I've just come out of surgery. Like, I don't want it. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me at all. So, they get to this lady's house, lovely lady's house, and she has all these ingredients. And, Lisa's feeling nauseous because she's like, it's a lot of smells that I'm not used to. And she learns to cook. And, afterwards, they're going to have this meal out on the grass. And I thought that's really cute. She's like, I'm not drinking, but she makes this food. And she's like, you like the food I made for you, Daniel? I made it for you. She's like, I'm not eating, though. And then proceeds to pour herself some wine. I saw it. It said Chardonnay on it, but it was rosé. So I don't know. And he's like, oh, I love this. And he gets up and he is so complimentary to her about it. And, he's so happy. And she's like, I gotta tell you something though, Daniel. Okay. And she's sweating and her makeup is falling all over her face. And she's like, I told you that I, was only married one time. Well, I was married 5 times and you'll be my sixth husband. And I said, no, you should say partner because you haven't had a husband in a while. And he's like, I don't care if you've had 100. She's like, well, you never really asked me how many. So I didn't tell you. And she's like, but the other thing is that I'm still married because I got with my partner and they ran off to be with somebody else after a few months and I haven't seen them for 9 years. And I said, "Oh, I didn't know that. I thought she was with that person up until like a couple years ago and they just haven't bothered to get a divorce. I didn't know that person ran off and she couldn't find them. And then when she did find them, she didn't do anything about it." And then that person's like, how could you not tell me? I am sleeping with another man's wife. The way that man repeats over and over again, another man's wife. You can get me kicked out of my culture. I will get stoned in the streets if anyone finds out that I have been sleeping with another man's wife. I said, if you don't stop being dramatic, because there are plenty of men right now in your culture sleeping with other men's wives. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I can't believe it. This whole time, I brought you in front of my uncle. I brought you in front of the king. And this entire time, I have been sleeping with another man's wife. I know my neighbors are like, what is she doing? I could be banished. From what? Banished from what? She's like, I'm gonna leave the ring here, Daniel. I'm so sorry. I know I shouldn't have told you. I shouldn't have said anything. So I have been sleeping with another man's wife. I could be punished. She's like, that's why I didn't tell him that it's a woman. Jeez Louises. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. And then she comes back and he gets on her knees. She gets on her knees and he's like, get away from me. I want to go home. Get away from me. No. No. I have not been with this person for shh, hush, quiet your mouth. And then she sits there and she pours the biggest glass of rosé Chardonnay that I've ever seen. Just a little champagne. Just a little Prosecco. And then she's like, he doesn't love me anymore. Downs the whole thing. And she's sitting at the table like, and then she gets up and she stumbles to the car and she sits in the back of the car like this. And then Daniel comes in and he sits in front of her and she's like, and then they get back to the hotel. And she's like, I just stay in another room. And he's like, and so she goes and she buys another room. Then she calls Faith and she calls Faith crying. Faith is like, go tell him it's a woman. She's like, I can't, Faith. I can't. I can't. You know, he's the one, Faith. I want Daniel. I want Daniel, Faith. Meanwhile, Daniel's like, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do? I said the best award goes to the best the best scene in a reality TV show goes to Daniel. I thought White People Don't Lie is the craziest thing. And no shade to Jocelyn, no shade to Mickey, no shade to Babs, and no shade to Joslo. I don't know who else is white. Those are my four in their 70s white women. I thought white people didn't lie. Y'all. Y'all. What? What? It's too much. It is too much. It is too much. It's too much. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dying. This is my ghost. Boo. Oh, thanks. Hard to know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Girl. Sorry. Woo! I'm tired. All right. I got to let you guys go here because I'll be back in 20 minutes to talk about Love is Blind. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll make this quick. Me and Shay are going to talk about Love is Blind in 20 minutes. Thank you so much. I got to get up and go to the bathroom. Check out that new Kylie Minogue song. It's good. All right, you guys. I'll see you next week. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. And I could do this forever with you, with you. Okay. Jump in the line. Rock your body on time. Okay. I believe you. Jump in the line. Rock your